This AI-generated podcast clip featuring two avatars spiraling into an existential crisis absolutely blew up on TikTok, pulling in a massive 3.7 million views. Today, I'm going to show you how to remake something just like that, but significantly faster and much more scalable. We are turning any long-form podcast or interview into snackable social clips that actually perform well. I'll walk you through a practical pipeline using a few popular tools: Notebook LM, Synthesia, ChatGPT, Premiere Pro, and then show where Vizard naturally fits in. Spoiler alert, it makes the whole long video to viral clip process way less painful. All right, first things first. What are we actually trying to do with this content? The original clip is essentially a short extract of a longer AI-generated podcast, featuring two voices alternating with some split-screen visuals. The key steps to recreate this are: source the material, find the punchy moments, make the short videos, add visuals if desired, and finally export, caption, and schedule for socials. Sounds simple on paper, but doing this manually takes an absolute age, so smart tools and workflow choices really matter. Now, let's dive into step 1. Source and craft the long-form material if you don't already have it. Start by compiling the research and references that will inform the final podcast discussion. In my example, the creator pulled a couple of copywriting resources and a YouTube tutorial to build the foundation. You can do the same. Collect a few blog posts, YouTube links, or transcripts and feed them into Notebook LM or your LLM of choice. This will generate a conversational, multi-host podcast script based on the source material you provided. Notebook LM's deep dive conversation feature is fantastic for having two AI hosts riff off the same set of sources. Just pick the two host setting, add your links, write a short customized prompt, and wait a couple of minutes for the magic to happen. When the audio is ready, you'll usually end up with a single wave file containing both speakers on the same track. That's workable, but if you want clean alternation between two avatars later, you have two practical options. The first option is to transcribe and then manually copy-paste each speaker's sections into separate files. The second, often better option is to chop the waveform directly in Premiere Pro until each speaker becomes its own distinct audio file. Pro tip: Premiere's auto-transcribe feature can actually help you split those sections by speaker, which really speeds up step 2. Moving on to step 2, picking the soundbites, which is where most people absolutely burn all of their clock time. Instead of manually scrubbing through a 15-minute file, this is precisely where Vizard shines brightest. Vizard's auto-editing identifies the most engaging moments in long videos and instantly creates ready-to-post clips. Upload your long podcast, whether it's audio or video, to Vizard and let it surface the highlights for you. These highlights are the exact parts that are most likely to work as short, vertical social clips. If you still want to maintain full control, you can absolutely do the manual chop in Premiere, but Vizard's suggestions will save you hours. Plus, Vizard will often find those high-energy moments that a human editor might simply miss while scrubbing. Now we move to step 3. Avatars, visuals, or just plain captions. What look are you going for? If you love that slick avatar look, like the celebrity AI hosts, you can use two different approaches here. The first is the avatar lip sync approach, where you export separate audio files for each speaker and upload them to Synthesia. Synthesia will then lip sync a chosen avatar to each individual audio file, creating two separate portrait videos. You then bring those two videos into Premiere Pro and crop each one to the left or right half for that classic two-camera studio split look. This method is identical to the original viral workflow and gives you precise control over every avatar's performance. The second, much faster method is the native clip approach, where you skip avatars entirely. Instead, you use Vizard to generate vertical clips automatically, complete with simple captions, background blur, and visual emphasis. Vizard's auto-editing is specifically built to turn long videos into multiple short formats very quickly, which is perfect for shooter footage or talking heads. If you stick with Synthesia, you can even leverage ChatGPT to generate realistic podcast studio background images for your scenes. I usually prompt for something like, generate a realistic 16:9 podcast studio background with warm lighting and subtle depth of field. Paste that image into Synthesia, place your avatars left and right, and then export those two separate portrait videos. The reason to make the background 16:9, even for vertical output, is so you can crop each exported MP4 perfectly in Premiere for the final split-screen composition. It's slightly fiddly, I'll admit, but that method makes the final visual look very authentic to that original viral style. Step 4 is the assembly in Premiere Pro, or alternatively, Vizard's streamlined export workflow. If you went the Synthesia route, you import both avatar videos, stack them in your vertical sequence, and start manipulating the crops. You crop the top layer's bottom half to reveal the top left avatar and the bottom layer's top half for the bottom right one. Then, you add the corresponding exported audio tracks and spend time syncing and trimming everything perfectly. If you used Notebook LM's single audio track, remember you'll need to manually chop those alternating speaker sections into separate tracks first. However, if you used Vizard to auto-generate the clips, you can confidently skip most of Premiere Pro entirely. Vizard exports ready-to-post vertical MP4s, complete with captions and even speaker-specific styling already applied. This is significantly faster if your goal is to produce a massive stack of Reels and TikToks rather than one cinematic composite. Step 5 focuses on the final polish, making sure your captions, speaker color coding, and polish are impeccable. Captions are absolutely non-negotiable for any vertical social video viewing experience. If you use Premiere's transcript, you can auto-create captions and style them to alternate colors per speaker easily. If you used Vizard, the tool can generate those captions from the transcript, and you manage the styling within its content calendar. Little design touches, like subtly color-coded captions and brief jump cuts between reactions, keep eyes glued to the screen. Finally, step 6 is scheduling and scaling. This is fundamentally where your growth actually happens. One clip is fine, but 50 clips across a month is a legitimate content strategy. Vizard's auto-schedule and content calendar features are built exactly for this scaling purpose. You can set your posting frequency, and Vizard will automatically push content to your socials based on that cadence. This means you upload one long interview, let Vizard carve it into dozens of clips, and schedule them across weeks effortlessly. Compare that manual scheduling effort to Vizard's automation, and you quickly see why consistent creators ultimately win. Let's take a few honest comparisons, because understanding the nuance between these tools is crucial. Notebook LM is excellent for generating the initial conversation, but you must export and manually chop or upload elsewhere for clipping. Synthesia is unbeatable for quick avatar creation and multilingual lip syncing, but it won't find viral moments or post automatically. Premiere Pro offers total creative control for cinematic mastery, but it is inherently slow when you need high-volume content output. Vizard sits in the middle as the essential automation layer. Automated clipping, captioning, variations, and post-scheduling all in one place. If your primary goal is producing dozens of high-performing clips without hiring a full editing team, Vizard is where you save significant time and money. To wrap up the workflow, TL.dr, generate the long form in Notebook LM, auto-detect high-impact moments in Vizard, and then style and schedule for scale. If you want maximum control and a photoreal avatar, stick to the Notebook LM, Synthesia, and Premiere route for that flagship cut. But if you prioritize scale and speed, dozens of clips ready to post with captions and a schedule, lean hard on Vizard to be your content machine. Neither path is inherently wrong. Simply pick the one that best fits your required output volume for the month. If you are a one-person creator trying to publish daily, the time savings from using automation like Vizard are truly massive. If you're focused on one cinematic masterpiece once a month, then keeping Premiere Pro in the loop for those fine edits makes perfect sense. You can absolutely recreate that viral 2-avatar existential crisis clip by following these structured steps. If you want, I can export a sample pipeline specifically for this project with exact prompts and settings for you to copy and run. Drop a comment or tell me which part you want me to script for you in deep detail, and I will build that project out. Thanks for watching and reading, and please hit that like button if this breakdown helped you find some practical shortcuts. I'll keep sharing practical shortcuts for turning all your long content into social gold.